No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And that's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. A virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. The games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Right, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. This is round two match that's coming up this afternoon at the top of the hour. It's actually the first outing in this tournament for these guys. They both got byes in round one. Josemacuen from Spain and Bankster representing Kuwait. Jose has been in getting a little bit of practice. No sign of Bankster. Bankster tends to sit for long periods in the lobby where he's probably not there. Now he's not in the lobby at all, so presumably he's going to be a last-minute appearance by Bankster if he intends to play. So this is one of two matches that are on today. And get the right thing here. Hang on a minute. We've got this one, as I said, in a minute or two. We've got Mr. Fox against Miskin lined up to play. They go at what time do they go at? At 6 p.m. they go, an hour later. And then the next match is MC Clarkey and Larry on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. British Summer Time. Then we've got a one-loss side match with Tornado Tam and Interchange X. That's not till next Sunday. And then a week on Thursday, I believe, it will be Stub against VP Monster. So those are all the matches that are lined up. We've got 3 winners side matches and 2 losers side matches to come. So we wait patiently for Bankster to show up, and we'll get the tournament tab ready. And we're still waiting to see when he arrives, hopefully. And that way we'll know we've got a match on. Well, we might have a match, Jose, provided Bankster turns up. He's still got another 2 or 3 minutes. He does tend to show up at the last minute, and here's hoping he does. I have no idea how this is going to go. I just hope it doesn't go 4 hours. And good luck, Jose. You might not need any luck. It might be that you end up getting a bye. Who knows? So, I don't know whether I've ever really seen Bankster playing Cowboy. I know Jose's going to give him plenty of chances. Bankster will get plenty of opportunities. It just depends what he's like in the scoring side of things. And no doubt it'll be vice versa. Jose will get plenty of chances. So it is 16:59, just 1 minute away from the top of the hour. And he's cutting it fine, Bankster. We're going to be into the 10-minute countdown. Now, these tournaments are set so that initially when the room goes up for the match to start, you have 10 minutes to get into the room. And if you don't get into the room, it times out. And provided your opponent is in the room, they will get the win. If there's any other disconnect or loss of internet during the match, you then have 5 minutes to get back in the room. And likewise, if you don't get back in time, you end up forfeiting the match. So we're now at the top of the hour. The room is now up. And Jose should be getting himself in. And we might or we might not have a match. So we just have to wait for that 10 minutes for Bankster to either get in or go to the one-loss side. And until that happens, there's not much else we can do. Right, Bankster has arrived, so he should be in the room any second, and we'll have the lag for the break. Well, he's just appeared in the lobby. And for some strange reason, he's walked into another guy's room. But I don't know why he's done that. Yeah, he's decided to come in. So here we go. We have Jose on the right-hand side, Bankster on the left. Race to 3. It looks a close call, but I think Jose's won it. Jose going for the straightforward pot in the 3.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, now he's in very dangerous territory right off the bat here. This is sucker scratch territory. And he's got away with it. And he's actually sitting reasonably good to continue. Now he doesn't want to hit that 3 ball on the wrong side. And he's playing it ultra cautious. Again, it's dangerous. Got to be very careful that he doesn't catch that 3 ball too thin on the bottom side. And now he should be just rolling that 5 in dead weight and playing the 5 to the 1 next. Well, that's not dead weight. He could have hit that an awful lot softer and stayed up there. Now he's got the carom again. This time he should be safe from the scratch. Although he tried his best. Well, he's accumulated some points here. He's on to, what is he, 32? Now he needs to be ultra cautious again, because now he's not sitting in great shape for the carom, but he does not want to take a silly risk. And these are vital points right at the start here. It'd be crazy to give them away. And the run ends on 32. And at least he's kept them. So now we get a chance to see what Bankster's level is like in this game. He's going to go for the draw. That's the bailout. Now he might be able to play this 5 and play into that 1 ball if he wants to really get it into play. I think he's got the angle where he could do it, but I don't know whether he's going to do it. Oh, well, he's actually got himself in good position here now. That's perfect. I mean, this is an easy enough hit. And he's caught the 1 ball on the right side as well to push it down towards the pocket, although he can't see it. But again, if he just rolls through, he'll have a shot from the 3 to the 5. And that'll do it. Already Bankster. Well, he played the draw. I'm surprised he didn't go for the force follow to the 5. It looked just as simple. And just when I thought he was going to get into a little roll there, his run ends in 15. Well, he's going to have to go to the long rail on the left side here and try and stun that cue ball. Unless, let's see, he must have seen that that 1 ball was going to come back into line, because it was far too obvious to me trying to get the cue ball to go in a line that was never really there, because the 1 ball was always going to be in its path. And he could have stunned to the long rail on the left there. And I mean, that had to be obvious to Jose, but nevertheless, he still played it and still believed he was going to get some sort of change in the laws of physics, that cue ball was going to make the carom, and it was never on. And he's let Bankster back in. Bankster's going to have to get things organised. And he's also sitting pretty good for the 1 to the back of the 3, which is what he should be playing, because you want to really get that 3 ball out into the table. Whether he plays it from the 1 to the 3, which looks the safest route, or whether he tries to get it from the 5. But either way, it'd be a good idea to move that 3. Well, he almost went too narrow again there. He may well have another chance to get to this 3 off the 5 here if he's held the cue ball up top, but he hasn't, and he's pretty much let that get away on him. Now he's in trouble. It's a very, very thin edge in the 1 ball if you're trying to go 2-3 rails into the 3. Very thin. In fact, I think it's far too thin. He's tried it, and he's got it. It was really thin, and he got it perfect. But now the 1 ball's dead as well. if he runs across the side like that, he's got an easy enough carom on the 3, but he really, again, wants to quickly deal with the 1 ball. When the 1 ball, or when any ball is isolated on a rail, and the tighter it goes to the rail, the smaller the target it is, so it doesn't really do a great deal of benefit having it sitting there. And he's going to have an easy carom as long as he doesn't push this to the rail too soon. The 1 goes on the spot. He'll have the 1-5. Sorry, 1-3. Should be a force follow, I think. The line looks good enough. That's perfect. But again, he's not picked a line. Now that was probably one of the easiest force follows you're going to get. And Bankster, a bit much in a hurry there. If he just set himself right, it was pretty much unmissable, that carom, but Bankster proved that these guys can miss anything. And talking about that, I've just jinxed Jose. He's forgotten how to pot balls. So immediately Bankster's back in. And this is a habit you want to get out of very early here. You don't want to. You don't want to be having 1 shot at something and then you're waiting another 15 minutes for your next shot. That's a nasty habit to get into. And Bankster's at it as well now. Jose's back at the table. I did say that there's going to be loads of opportunities. It's just a question who's going to get the overall advantage by the end of the night. Well, there's a 2-way shot here. The thin cut on the 3 ball, maybe a bit of help in English to try and get the carom on the 1. Well, he didn't really play for it, or he would have probably got there. And he's sitting nice enough for the 3-5. And this is set up not too bad. Jose can pot the 1 and cut across. The thing is, he needs to get a hold of the cue ball, though. He can't just let this drift through, so you have to play the shot. And the reason I say he has to get a hold of it is because he's going to finish low when he really wanted to be sort of square to the right-hand side there, so that the carom to the 5 was a lot easier. Now he's having to either go up top to make the long carom on that 3 ball or try and stun into the 5. Now watch the cue ball. Just caught that the wrong side of the 3, but he played it soft enough where no damage was going to happen. That's a poor one from Jose. A fairly straightforward pot there on the 5 ball. Run ends in 15. And immediately Bankster gets the carom, pots the 5. So he's got an open table. I would have liked to have probably come back a wee bit further off that 5 ball just to open up the line and make it easier to get to the 1. Now he's just got to judge this angle for the force follow, and again he's been found out. You know, if he'd got back further, it would have been much more open and far easier to play the carom. So that visit was only 11. A slender lead for Bankster. That 5 ball's going to go dead as well. This is what you don't want. Now he's got a horrible table. And you can try the thin cut in the one to the left-hand corner pocket, and there's a chance he's going to carom into the 5 as well at the same time. He needs to dig out a pot, stay at the table. He's got the carom as well, got the 5 back in play, and he's actually lined up very nicely here for the 5-3. Just a feather edge of that 5 ball. That's all he needs. Now, it would have been handy if he'd actually sat better on the 3 and been able to pot it, because he could have stayed up there for an easy 3-5. Now he's going to have to play another good shot here, and particularly with the cue ball. So it's going to be a thin edge in this 5 ball. And again, got to watch the pace. Just catches that left edge of the 1. And looking to try and get this back into some sort of workable shape. It's not great as it is right now. Now that needs to stop there. Well, he's got a choice of shots here. He can try and pick that line for the force follow to the 5, but he could also go 5 to the 3. But he's nailed that one pretty well. Now he's good to get the 3 in its spot. 5 ball's very adjacent, so that's handy. And the only thing he needs to make sure he doesn't do is block himself off. And how many times have I done that in Cowboy? Hundreds of times. Well, he tried his best, but he's got it perfect. But again, he's immediately got himself in trouble. Now, he can bank the 5 up and down past the 1 ball, which should prevent the cue ball from doing any great unnecessary movement here. If he gets the bank, fine and fair enough. But he's going for the cutback, and that's a great recovery shot. Excellent. And very well controlled, because he's sitting perfect again to follow it up. And it's also getting towards that danger time where you need to keep an eye on the scoreboard. Five ball's going to come round into play again. Now, if he just, it's a thin edge, this 5 ball. If you're going to do anything, make sure you go back up the table. Don't try and hold it, because it's maybe too thin an edge to try and do that and keep the cue ball down the bottom. So get yourself back up top, and that looks very good to me. That's excellent again. And that takes him to 32, and it takes him to the total of 80. Well, same again, just roll the 5 ball in and keep the cue ball there or thereabouts for a nice little edge off that 5. to the one. I think the cue ball wants to go the other direction though, so he's played it really soft. And that's fine. Or is it? Maybe not. Let me have a look. No, he's way too straight. So now he needs to protect these points. He can't be taking a silly risk. He's just 4 points away from the carom phase. And he really would be crazy to start running this cue ball loose. But again, he's played a very nicely controlled carom. Can't argue with that. Takes him to 87, and he's also got the 3 ball to get to 90. So this is an important visit now that he's got this far with it. The run is 42, but he wants to keep them. Bottom line is keep the points and don't take a risk. If you're trying to force follow through to make a carom at this stage, you're going to be running an object ball, and that can be disaster, and you just want to avoid that at all cost. This has been a great little run from Jose. And he's just grazed the 1 ball. Now again, the safest shot here is thin off the 1 and into the back of the 5, not going to it direct, and he's played it right. Now, this is dangerous. This is the type of danger shot I'm talking about here, because if he plays that as a force follow, he could bank the 1 into this corner pocket. He could graze the 3 ball and scratch. So he wants to just do something where he's keeping his points, and that's a sensible shot. Well, for once, it proves that Jose is actually thinking about what he's doing. And that 46 run, vital at this stage in the rack, because it really ramps the pressure up immediately on Bankster. Bankster has to produce, and he's immediately failed on the carom. That 5 ball, no good where it is. I don't know whether Jose can dig the 5 ball out and avoid actually potting this 1 ball. It's not a great line. He's took the risk.
Where's the cue ball going?
Cue ball stays on the table. He can go to the 5, onto the rail, onto the 3, or he can go from 3 to 5. So he's sitting pretty here for another carom. Again, he can have a similar attempt here off this 3, going to the rail and coming to the 5, or he can come back to the 3. So he's got the choice. And now there's a bit more distance between them. 3 balls now in a very dangerous spot for Jose. So again, he's got 4 vital caroms. Does he really want to be taking any risk? Oh dear. Well,
Where's the cue ball going?
I did say, you know, if you're going to go off that long rail onto that right side of that 5 and go all out for that extra carom, you're just blowing 4 vital caroms there. And what's more, he's given Bankster another lifeline. And that was not the shot. That was just getting too greedy. He should have just cut and run like he did before. And Bankster's at it again. He's potted the ball. Didn't make the carom. So Bankster's in a bit of a hurry. And he's not really taking himself that extra second just to right himself to get set to play the carom. He just straight in there, and he's missed a couple of them like that. And Jose's got a chance to redress the balance here after having thrown away those last 4 caroms. didn't get enough spin. But at least he's kept the two that he made there. So Bankster's really got to get something going here. He's failed on 2 or 3 occasions already in this rack. Really needs to get settled in. He wants to put that a wee bit pressure on Jose. Well, again, I think he missed the intended ball, but got second prize. Two-way shot there. A lot of work to be done here to get back into this rack. Where's that cue ball headed? I think he can just graze the one. But he's done the cardinal sin again. Hitting it too heavy and too much pace and caught the wrong side and scratched. Again, these are all obvious scratch dangers whenever you've got a ball like that near a side pocket, or any pocket for that matter. If you start hitting things at too much a pace, you know what will happen. Well, Bankster's had more than enough opportunities here already to try and get rid of this deficit here, but I think it'll be far too late if he gets another go, because Jose's pretty much staring at the finish line here in this first rack. I mean, we're only 27 minutes into this first rack, so it's going ahead of schedule at the moment. And that's a very nice little carom. Takes him to 99. Now he's just got to make sure that if he's going to play, he can play a two-way shot here, but he's got to watch he doesn't bank the 3 ball, but he can go 2-3 rails. Well, he's trying to go direct, but I think it would have been better to take the risk and go in the 2-3 rail shot to the 5. And if not, you might get lucky and hit the 1. It's a dangerous shot to play, but he's got enough leeway at the moment where he could have took that on. So this is definitely last chance saloon in this rack for Bankster. No doubt about that. That 5 ball needs to get out of the way. Well, it's a horrible table that he's got himself to deal with here, Bankster. He needs to get things moving. He's one good carom. That's unlucky, but at least he's forcing Jose to play a shot here. I mean, I think he can go very thin edge on this 1 ball. If he plays it at the right pace, he should be leaving himself a good opportunity for the outshot. And that's pretty good. That takes him to 100. And now he'll be calling bottom right-hand corner pocket for the first rack. And that was very well done. Well, Bankster, too many errors with opportunities that he was given, and he didn't take advantage of any of them. And he's sitting away back in the distance there with just 66 in that first rack. So Jose with the lead. Bankster breaks off in rack number 2. And he's already sitting awkward. You've really got to try and get that cue ball back down into the kitchen. And you see the danger again of having to play the stun. Look at the cue ball. Any more pace than that and the cue ball was gone. Well, he's already had a go at drawing from one ball to another and failed. Let's see if we can get it this time. And unless it grows legs, it ain't getting it, I don't think. So that's 2 attempts at the draw shot to get from one ball to the other, and he's failed in both. And he's only scored 14. And Jose will just relax even more because Bankster's not really accumulating anything to threaten him at the moment. I mean, all very well. I mean, that could kick in at any time, but the signs are not good at the moment if you're in Bankster's corner. But once again, the main thing is that Bankster I've never seen playing KUWAIT. Tam might know different. Good afternoon to Tam. Well, Jose had a nice little 40 odd, or was it 48 running that first rack? Bankster had a good 5-6 opportunities to score, failed in all of them. And Bankster's pretty much continuing from where they left off in the first rack. Opportunities going backward and forward, but Jose was the one that managed to hold himself together to get a reasonable little visit that made the difference in the first rack. Oh. Took a risk there. Got away with it. Well, he can thin cut the 3 and get it in. He can pop the 5 into the side and stay in the middle of the table and look to use the 5 to get to the 1. But I think to me, the easiest shot is to pot the 3. And
Where's the cue ball going?
if he'd potted the 3 and managed to check the cue ball and stay there or thereabouts, he could have easily got that 5 ball out with a carom off the rail. But nevertheless, he's done it his way. And no sooner has he done that than he's got out of line and missed the carom. Now these, again, are just like the first rack. They're all opportunities for Bankster to put something together and maybe try and send a message back to Jose. He's done nothing like that at all so far. It's all single figure and no more than 10s and 12s he's getting. And he's not kept all of them. He's had a couple of scratches as well. Jose's already building up a little lead here. He's a bit too straight in this 3-ball to do an awful lot with it. So whatever he gets here is going to be at distance. And 3 balls now out the game. So it's going to be hard work for Bankster. I mean, he's not a mile behind. You see again, he's hit that far too heavy. He could have easily just dropped to 5 and stayed below there. But he's got the recovery. So once again with this one, just make sure you stay out the pocket and don't go in line, and you should have a shot to that 5. And that's perfect. Grazes a 5. And now he needs to double check the spot here. Well, the spot's well clear, but he can either pot the 5 or pot the 1, because the 1's going to go very handy to the 3. And these two are set up anyway for an easy follow-up. Once again, pot the 1, get it on its spot. If he's going to pot the 3, then he needs to sit good from the 5 to the 3. Now, to me, the shot is get the 1 in the spot and check the cue ball up, just to hold it in there. That'll do. Well, the handy thing is that the 3-ball didn't go in there, because now he can pot it, and he's got pretty much a guaranteed carom here. Pretty much unmissable. He's just got to pick the way that he's doing this, though, because again, it's all about trying to keep balls alive and not killing them on rails. Give yourself every opportunity to keep scoring. So if he pots the 1, that's going to be on its spot and out the way. So it's vital that he then gets good on the 3-5. And this isn't exactly good, because you want to try and go through, but the chances are you're knocking the 5-ball out. Yeah, I think the little voice in his head is telling him that if you play the force follow, it's touch and go whether you'll miss that 5-ball. He's now looking at the thin edge, and again, this is very dangerous. Well, he's playing the draw instead, and that worked. I thought he was going the very thin edge there. But anyway, now it's almost back into a conventional setup here, and he can keep this going. Now, again, I don't know why he's played the draw. To me, that was needless. Because first of all, if he'd left himself to play the 1-5, that was a less risk shot than this is. This is sucker scratch territory again that he's got himself into. But he's played it dead weight, and in the process, of course, doing that, he's killed the 5-ball. See, this is how you can very quickly get yourself out of line. If he'd stayed below the 1, he'd probably still be at the table. He might not be after this shot. And there you go. It's so easy to get out of line by the wrong shot choice. And I think he made the wrong shot choice there. Of course, Jose is the one that has to deal with the 5-ball. But Bankster's contribution was 31. I think that's pretty much guaranteed his highest scoring visit he's had. He's got a small lead. I don't know whether Jose's got the force follow on here onto this 5. Yes, he does. And he's not got it, though, I don't think. And this is what Bankster needs. He needs to get back in quick here and try and stretch this lead. And there's a fail. And again, there's only one good thing about that shot there, that he'd only scored 1. He actually got into the cue ball too much. I think it was more of a stun with pace to get that ball off the rail there, rather than trying to draw it to it, because you get into it too much and that's what happens. You end up finding the pocket instead. So Bankster failing to capitalise there. And Jose with a good opportunity now to get himself back in the lead. And so this match is now, 42 minutes old. A reminder for anybody that's watching that there's also another match scheduled to start in about 20 minutes' time. And that match is Mr. Fox against Miskin. I think that's a round 2 match as well. I could be wrong, but it's due to go at the top of the hour. And assuming it does go ahead, we'll keep an eye on it. And Jose, just a couple of points behind. He'll be in the lead after this shot. But well, he's taking the 1 ball instead, which was a wise move. I wasn't actually sure what end of the table I was at there until I looked at the top and saw the numbers. Now this looks very thin to drop that 3 ball into the side. And if he's going to stop the cue ball here to leave the 5-3, it's another one of them risky shots. He's going up higher so he could leave the 5-1. It's very dangerous to be nipping across to that 3 ball. Now, he could be clever here and play the 5 into the 3 and pot the 5 that way. And that way you get the 3 ball moving. It's an easy enough shot, but he's not looking at it. It just means that he's having to make do with these 2 balls at the moment to keep scoring. And sooner or later he's going to run out of line. Now, well, that's very dangerous to try and thin cut the 3 in from there. He's too close to the 1. He's got a wide open 5 ball, but this is dangerous. He's got it though, avoided the scratch. And again, this is a dangerous sucker scratch angle that he's sitting on here. But he's hit it the right side. Well, the left side anyway, which was the correct side. And that takes the scratch out of the equation. And all of a sudden, he's accumulated another 30 in this visit. Got himself in front. So no risk. as you get deeper into this total towards the 90, you don't want to throw it all away. Jose, from the evidence we've seen, has been certainly more efficient and deliberate than Bankster. Bankster's been a wee bit too much in a hurry. And when you're putting, 30-40 in the board, that's applying pressure to your opponent. Most certainly, if you can get one of them in every rack, your odds immediately shorten to get to those caroms a lot sooner than your opponent. He's still not got these points yet. That's the only thing. He's accumulated these 45 so far in this visit, and he cannot be taking any undue risks. Now, he's also, again, got to remember the scoreboard. Now, he's looking 5-1, and he's missed it, and that's probably the best thing there, the fact that he's missed that. It wasn't difficult. He could have went from the 1 to the 3 and went around the corner. It would have been perfectly safe. And straight away, you can tell Bankster's had absolutely no table time. This is the first time he's looked at this 10-foot table in this tournament. And he's missing everyday caroms he's missing here to get started. And I think on that evidence, you wouldn't give any good odds for Bankster surviving and even getting a rack on the board here, unless it starts to get crazy. Oh, he's only played 30 Cowboy games. Well, at least he's played some. What's the cue ball? And that takes him to 88. And he needs the carom now, of course. Now he's going to have to jack up and get hold of the cue ball here. He's going to make that connection to the 5 ball off the 3. Because this cue ball will just slide away if he doesn't get a hold of it. Well, in fact, I thought he was going to try and get to the 5, but he's actually tried the 2-3 railer there. And I think unless Bankster suddenly finds his feet, I think Jose will just gradually plod his way to the finish line in this rack. And I mean, in the first rack, Jose was the one that made that little, reasonable contribution. And in this rack, he's done the same thing. And because of that, the average rack time is still well within range here. I mean, we're just short of 50 minutes. And we're almost at the end of the second rack. I mean, this could go on another half an hour or more if Bankster suddenly starts scoring. Well, he really needs to. And this is going to be isolated again. Not in great shape. Well, he can go for the 2-1 shot. I mean, left side of the 1 around the corner and aim for the 5. And if you don't get that, you're strong chance of hitting the 3. Oh, he's going far too wide. Far too wide on that. Again, that was not a difficult shot, but they're difficult when you don't play this game. So Jose sitting with a 1 ball for the point he needs to get to 90. And now it's Carams all the way to 100. That 5 ball just run on a tad too much there. And he didn't get the stun in it. You see, that shot needed more stun to get the line of that cue ball to go more direct to the 3. If you don't get the stun in it enough, the cue ball just leaks away. It doesn't grip. But like I said, I don't think Jose needs to break any sweat. He just has to bide his time. He'll get them eventually. Bankster's sort of walking in molasses at the moment. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But, in this visit, he's got to set his sights on getting to 90 right now. If he gets to 90, it's a whole different ball game. It really is. I mean, Jose's just on 91. So he's within touching distance here if Bankster can hold it together. Again, it's a huge target, this 1 ball. Again, he's not getting the spin. You need to help that cue ball to be really sure you're going to, get to the rail just short of the 1. Again, it was an easy carom. And these are all points going a begging. They should all be Banksters. And just think if he'd actually put in a few hours table time, he would see those shots a lot easier. You're never going to come in this game and hit the ground running without a bit of practice. You need that table time. Well, Jose can try the draw from the 5 to the 1. Now, there's a shot on here, but the danger is the pace he plays the 1 ball at. If he's trying to get the cue ball to the short rail and use the spin to get to the 3, because he could end up banking the 1. And he got that 3 too full in the face. But he's still scored 4 caroms here, so again, it's the same thing. Does he want to take any sort of risk? It's not worth it. He's going to give it a go, though. He's going to give it a go. And he's got away with it. Now, it's too dangerous to play another carom towards that 3, especially if you're going to try and play it off the 1. It's far too dangerous. This is where you cut and run and keep your caroms. You've worked hard enough to get these 5. You don't want to just throw them all down the pan. Well, he's going for it. Has he got the spin? He certainly has. He's determined to stay at the table, but you know what happens when you just stay that one shot too many. He's walking the tightrope right now. And he's still going. Takes him to 98. The run is 7. Now, when's he going to stop here? Because this could all get ugly very quickly. And I think that's a sensible shot. A very nice contribution from Jose, just at the right time, just to take any doubt away from securing this second rack. Bankster, yes, he's within touching distance of the caroms, but there's still a doubt that he'll even get there. And I mean, the rack could still turn on its head. It could still turn on its head if Bankster gets to that 90 and suddenly he's got these balls running in a tight cluster and he's got a chance to rattle in, half a dozen caroms very easily. Well, it's easier saying that than actually doing it, but that's a very possible scenario in Cowboy all the time, even though you are looking down and out. And now it's getting to that critical stage. He's going to have to go long rail. Now, if he helps it with spin, he can go around and come in the back of this 5. That's what he's doing, I think. Oh, he sneaked around the back of it. Too much room. He's not left a gimme here for Jose, but I think Jose's going to try and spin this. He could come off the back of the 5 and scratch, but he's got away with it. And that 1 and 3, well, the 3's bumped to 1 further away than he would like, but he's on 99. He just needs one more good carom. Probably trying to go take a risk going the 2-3 rails to the 5. This is where it's probably worth taking that risk. This looks good. Now, how about the 1 ball? And that's even better. Let me have a look. Can he avoid the double kiss? It's touch and go. He doesn't like it, so he's calling the draw into this corner pocket. So this for 2-0. Going to catch the rail. I think it's going to go spin out. The spin's held it out the pocket. Well, I don't think Bankster's got the notion of trying to protect the 1 ball. I think Bankster's just going to keep trying to score to get to 90, but it's just a question of whether he's actually schooled himself in the art of getting down and dirty with this 1 ball when you have to. Now, he could play a safety here like that, but he hasn't covered enough of this, I don't think. No, he hasn't. He really needed to get right over this side to take that edge away, and this is sitting perfect. He didn't get that cover far enough. So bottom left corner is the call as we look. And Jose just falls short. Now, I wonder if that's one of them. Yeah, that's a gasp where it nearly went in. I remembered my shortcut there. Well, Bankster still trawling away here at 84. Can't get to 90. Well, now he doesn't want to leave that 1 ball there. That's fatal. He cannot leave that 1 ball there. He needs to be getting it onto its spot at least. Because if he leaves that there and he makes a mistake, it's hasta la vista to this rack. And not only that, he's now going to have to try and manufacture a carom, and I don't know that this is sitting pretty. Let's have a look. He's trying to... Maybe if he checks this with a bit of right English and misses the one, and well, has he got the legs? Oh, he hasn't hit it. And there you go. Like I said, it's fatal to leave that one ball there like that, because that's a complete gift. And all I'm going to say to that is...
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Well, it has to be said, Bankster's a bit of a sucker there, because there's no way that one ball should ever have been left there, because if you don't get to the carom or whatever it is, a pot, and you leave it sitting there, you're just sold out. And that's the biggest sellout of the tournament so far. So a comfortable 2-0 lead for Jose. Bankster, 2 racks where he's not got into the carom phase. Jose starting rack number 3, the one that he needs for a very comfortable victory. This match would really have to turn on its head. Well, you see, with that shot there, that's where you don't want to be, where you're in between shots. He was too shallow an angle, so it required a very thin edge. You like a much more open angle, so you can play that carom a lot easier. And so that's let Bankster in, and again, Bankster immediately misses the pot. So Jose is going to have no time to go to the bathroom or anything, because Bankster can't stay at the table long enough. Well, let's have a quick check while this rack is underway. Let's have a quick look at the bracket and see whether this match with Mr. Fox and Miskin is underway, because that might not go ahead. Miskin might be one of these players that likes the idea and then decides not to show. There's certainly no sign of the match starting there at the moment. And if we tab to the lobby and look at the list of players, Mr. Fox is in the room. Miskin has arrived. He's there. So they're just about to start. So we do have a match. I don't know what the hell Jose was thinking of there, because he's missed that 3 ball by a country mile. But I think he was more concerned about the cue ball and keeping it where he had that 3-5 carom. Just took his eye off it. Well, the prospects are not good for Bankster unless he can come up with some decent score that gives us an inkling that he might be capable of surviving this third rack. But he can't get himself into any decent shape. Everything's far too difficult. And that'll do nicely. I wonder if Vertical Liquid's watching. Is he there? Nobody said anything but Tam and Jose. There's 9 people watching this and nobody's saying a word. Now, who's Dusty Puppy again? I can't remember these names. Is that Dwight? Now, remember, guys, that if you've got a smartphone, you can watch YouTube on your phone, or you can have YouTube on your monitor and use your phone for the chat, and that way, you don't. If you've got 2 monitors, you can use the pop-out chat for YouTube, and it allows you to actually use the chat more. Because a lot of folk are sort of resistant to using the chat simply because they have to tab back into, they have to tab out of full screen to go to actually use the chat. Welcome to Defty. Well, this would qualify as early evening over here now because we've just gone past 6 o'clock. I think afternoon finishes at 6 p.m. and then you can call 6 p.m. onwards evening time. I think that's pretty much how it would be. Well, any latecomers, Bankster, it's the same old story. Bankster doesn't play Cowboy, or what Cowboy he has played has been very little over his time in VP4, and coming in cold to especially the 10-footer, and with it also being alternate Cowboy is never a good thing, and his prospects aren't good. Jose, more proficient by far than what Bankster has been. And of course, Jose is a generous guy at Cowboy. He makes plenty of mistakes, just like most of us do, and he gives his opponent those opportunities. But Bankster's just not been at the races. He's just not good enough to score enough to threaten Jose. And you can see how this is shaping up in this third rack. It's going pretty much the way the other ones have gone. Jose's made a reasonable contribution in those first 2 racks, both of them 40-odd contributions, which really secured a big, comfortable gap. And then the rest just, took its time to get over the line, but he got there more than comfortable. So the assumption is that this match here doesn't have many more racks to go. We think this might be the final one, and we can then have a pop in and have a look and see how Mr. Fox is shaping up against Miskin. I've never seen Miskin play Cowboy. Goodness knows what level he's at. No idea. I'm back to work tomorrow for 1 shift, and then I'm back off for 2 days. So I'm easing myself back into work tomorrow. The only problem is, I don't think I'll have a problem getting up, because guess what time I woke up this morning? I woke up at 4:05, and 4 o'clock's my usual alarm time. So the internal body clock did not switch off for this past fortnight. I've always been up at about that time. And I think as you get older, I think most people agree that when you get older, you tend to wake earlier anyway. It is Dwight. Welcome to Spud Boy. I really need to think about getting one of these smart TVs so that I can watch. I mean, I don't know, because I've been out of the electrical trade for 15 years now or more since I sold a television. I mean, I've really lost touch in all the technology, so I don't know what's the best smart TV to get. What apps I have to get on them? What's the best apps at the TV? I know that we sell a Sharp television in our store, so occasionally we get batches of TVs in, and we're selling 50-inch or 47-inch Sharp televisions, which have got Roku built into it. I've got no idea what Roku is, not a clue. And then you've got TVs with other. I mean, I would like a smart TV that's got YouTube on it, so I could watch YouTube. I would like that, but I have no idea what to get. But I certainly wouldn't want to spend a fortune in a big thing that's like 4K and all of that stuff, because I wouldn't get the benefit of it. Just need a box. See, I didn't even know that. Just need a box like Roku. I mean, what the hell is Roku, though? That's what I'm saying. These TVs we've got in our store have got Roku built into them. But I've no idea what Roku is, what it does, what it costs you. I have no clue. Yeah, I've got an HDMI port on my PC, but the problem with that is the HDMI is running from there to my monitor. My big television downstairs has got more than one HDMI on it. But I don't really spend enough time watching the telly. I mean, and even then, if I got a smart TV, I would only ever be watching YouTube or something when I'm sitting at my dinner. And then, once that's finished, the TV gets switched off. I would be barely looking at the TV for like an hour a day. Anyway, back to business here. Bankster still plodding away in the distance. And Jose, well, he's already getting down to business here. That takes him to 90. He's got to watch the potting angle in this 5-ball. He wants to play the carom to the 1, but he's just got to make sure he's not potting the 5, which he hasn't. And now he can overcut that 1 to the rail and try and spin to the 5 here. And that's exactly what he's done. The only risky thing is that he's running the 1 ball and got away with that as well. Now, it's either a 1-railer or you'd need to go narrow. You need to go dangerously narrow to get tight around the corner to hit that 1. That's going wide. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get the 5-ball thin enough. He had to go dangerously tight into the corner to come around and hit them. It was a risky shot. But nevertheless, he's already into the caroms. And poor old Bankster is a mile behind. Now, who's now? How do we say that? Is that Blade or Bladdy? Who the hell's that? That's the first time I've seen that name. Well, you certainly know that if you don't play Cowboy and you come into a tournament like this, you're in for a beating. I mean, this is it's very difficult to be, even when the guys move over to play 9-ball in this table. You just can't get away with half the stuff you do in the 9-foot table when you come to this table, and when you then apply that to Cowboy, an alternate Cowboy, it's a much more challenging task you have on the 10-foot table. Well, a nice little 2-railer to the 1-ball. That looks good. Apart from the fact he's brushing it further towards the pocket, but again, he's fine. He's landed good in the 3. Now, if he plays this right in the right place, well, he's played it far too hard, but he could have, brought the 3-ball around and kept them fairly close together, but he's hit it far too heavy. But the shot here is off the left edge of the 5-ball as we look. You look at that, the shot here is to play the 2-way shot. It's dangerous because you're heading up towards the pocket. But he didn't take any risk and he's protected his points. That takes him to 95. So this match will be over in the next 5-10 minutes or so. No doubt about that. The thing that surprises me about people that have signed up for this tournament, and Bankster's a perfect example of that. He signed up for the tournament. The first thing that would cross my mind is, hang on a minute, I don't play Cowboy, or at least I've played it very little, let alone on the 10-foot table. Maybe I should get myself into a room maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes before this match is going to start and get my eye in, try and find my lines. I mean, it's still not a great amount of table time, but it's better than absolutely nothing at all. And Bankster just showed up. So there's a lot of players going into these tournaments. Yes, they're probably thinking, well, I've got no chance, but you're not helping your situation by not really putting in any time at all. So you can only expect the one outcome. It's. I mean, you've got Cobra, who's won this the last 2 years in a row. You're guaranteed that on the day of his match, he's going to be in practicing. That's a given. And what does that tell you? He just wants to get table time, get his weight a shot, and get prepared for the match. And meanwhile, Jose on the outshot, and he's just waiting for Bankster to set him up. And this match, which started at 5 p.m., is barely an hour and 20 minutes old. And Jose is right on the finish line here. And as soon as this one's done, we'll nip in and have a look at the Mr. Fox match. If only just to give us an idea what level Miskin's playing at. Miskin, if he's a player that plays Cowboy, I don't know what time zone he is. I don't know what country he's from. So he might be playing Cowboy when I'm not around. I've never seen him play. Bankster says in the chat, this is not my game. Well, I think I've already worked that out, Bankster. You didn't have to tell me that. And Jose trying to get the thin edge there, didn't get a hit at all. But again, anybody who's watched these matches or watched Cowboy, I mean, they've maybe never played it. They've maybe watched it like this. You know, any idea you have of thinking this looks fairly straightforward, all you have to do is pot a ball, and then next shot you hit another ball onto it. You know, you play a carom. It all looks fairly straightforward. You know, how hard can it be? Well, once you get yourself on the table and try it, then you'll find out. So Jose, he's going to have to stun this one in. This for 3-0. Yeah, he didn't quite stun it enough. He needed a wee bit more sharpness on the stun there, and he would have been out. Now Bankster got the one on its spot, or at least for the time being it is. Now remember that last rack, Bankster left the one ball dangerously close to a corner pocket, didn't decide to move it, missed his next shot, which was a carom he was trying to make, and just gifted it in a plate to Jose. Now, this is perfect for the outshot this time. Calling this bottom right-hand corner pocket. And this shot here is just about judging how much of the one ball you take, because you don't need to slam this. It's how thick you hit the one ball. The cue ball's going to take care of itself if you get the connection right, and he got it too thin. Needed to get it thicker to open up the angle. So Jose's had a couple of goes, but you see now, look at where the one ball's finished. You see that's a big mistake already there from Bankster, that he hasn't moved that one ball, and this could be a similar scenario here. If he doesn't get the hit, this cue ball's going to come around, and Jose will have the easy out. He's really got to get rid of that one ball from there. Fox is in 89, Miskin in the 50s. Oh. Now he's not sitting good here in the one ball again, in a dangerous position. And he's trying to play the carom from the 1 to the 3, doesn't get it. One comes up. Jose has got an in-off into the side, which is tight. He can go left side and call the top left-hand corner pocket, which I think that's what he's doing. So again, these don't need English. These are all about how much you judge you take of the one ball to get that tangent. Well, a good effort. Close, but no cigar. That deserves one of them. But I'm pretty certain it's...
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah. Arnie's hit the nail on the head. And there's another mistake. And then now this is This is a standard outshot again here for Jose. I expect him to get this time. He's played these 100 times. One ball on its spot. And again, I think that's his, third attempt to get out. And, well, again, Jose. Well, this is the closest that Bankster's going to get here with these attempts that Jose's failing on, because Bankster could, for the first time, get to 90. He's failed in both the first two racks. He has a very strong chance at the moment. That takes him to 86. He can't pot the 5, but he can pot the 3 and get it on its spot and leave himself a 3 to the 5. And the cue ball's finishing nice. So he can go thin and then short rail, long rail into the back of the 5. He's got to be thin though, because he doesn't want to pot the 3. So that gets him to 90. Once again, though, look at where the 1 ball's sitting. The 1 ball is very dangerous. And if Bankster doesn't get a hit here, well, he's decided to pot the 3 now. He's either done that deliberately or he's totally lost count. But either way, he's teed it up for Jose again. I think he wants to get this over with. So this again is just a big stun into the corner pocket. But don't overdo it. Well, it caught the jaws. So that's the 4th attempt at getting out. Bankster, of course, having lost his points, goes back to 84, and he's going to have to do it again. That takes him to 88. 1 ball stays there, so he's got the 1 to pot. And the 1 will be going down onto its spot, which is very adjacent to the 5 ball, so he should be back into the carom phase. Once again, that 1 ball is in a spot you don't want it to be. And it's vital that Bankster gets the hit on it here. So he's going right side. And, well, he's just caught it and no more. And it's even more dangerous where it's sitting, because if this cue ball doesn't get the hit, it's definitely over. And look at the table. The table's horrible. It looks as if he's trying to find a way to maybe keep this safe. I think that was more a case of moving the 1 ball, and all he's done is now set it up again for Jose. Now, this time, Jose's got to get out. This would be a big fail if he doesn't get out here, because this is not difficult. And there we go. So on the 5th attempt, Jose gets out. Bankster finally got to the carom phase, but it was all too comfortable. And it's a comfortable 3-0 win for Jose, and that's his first match in this tournament. And that will now give him a round 3 match against Coldest Pillow. So clearly Jose can give Coldest Pillow a match, I've no doubt about that. But Jose's going to have to be more consistent on the scoring side of things to really trouble Coldest Pillow. So we'll see that when it comes. Meanwhile, let's head in and have a look at what's going on here. Well, we're still in the first rack. And from that update score that we got, Fox in 89, Miskin in the 50s. It's first rack suddenly turned into a close one. And Fox is going to have to play the draw. That gets him to 99. Overcut the 3, go to the rail, come into the back of the 1. Overcut the 1, go to the rail, into the back of the 3. That's the choice. And I didn't get the line. So, Miskin has a chance. Well, clearly Miskin's managed to improve from where he was. And he's not sitting too bad here at the moment. And he got the English on the cue ball. That needed a bit of bottom right there to punch it back towards the 3. So at least Miskin's got the knowledge on how he wants to move that cue ball. Oh, has he skimmed that? Is that a referee's decision? No, he's missed it. And Mr. Fox can graze the 5, catch the 1. But this is not going to be good. He could go for the overcut in the 1 and spin the cue ball down this direction into this corner pocket. That's one call that he could do. But you're pushing the 1 towards the 3 doing that. I think he's just decided he wants to try and get the 1 ball in a better position. Now, let's see if Miskin's got his head screwed on, because now he has to be careful. Unless he's got a guaranteed certainty here, he has to get down and dirty. And I like that. I like that very much. But that's good signs as far as I'm concerned, that a player's thinking in his feet. Because that's you clinging to life and trying to keep yourself alive in this first rack by making problems. Now, is that 1 ball out the kitchen? Yes, it is. So he might be looking to just try and improve the 5 ball here. And that's a clever shot as well. Although the thing is that he'll have to play a legal shot next, because that'll be him in 2 fouls now, isn't it? Or am I counting wrong? I'm maybe losing track. So the 1 ball comes back up in its spot now. Miskin might have his chance here. Well, he's got to be brave. He can go bottom side of the 1, and it's a little too railer to the 3. Very well played, but how's the 1 ball? Oh, now, let me have a look. Can he call the force follow to the corner? I think that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's just got to get this line right. Yeah, difficult to judge. And look at where the 1 ball's going. So we're neck and neck here. And this is not a gimme either. I mean, the 1 ball's going out the way. He's gone to the point, and look at where it's finishing now. Oh, this is a double kiss. Can he play this shot at a certain pace where the 1 ball will go out the way and he'll miss the hit? Is he going to call that corner? What did he call there? I never saw what pocket he called. Maybe he was call it. Well, if he's called that side pocket, that is a shot and a half. No, it's a foul. It's a foul. I don't know what pocket he called, but it certainly wasn't that one. But now it's a total gift here for Mr. Fox. With 1 ball sitting right over the side pocket, and that was an all or nothing shot there from Miskin. And Mr. Fox is going to fall over the line. Well, if the racks end up like this could be an interesting match. Well done, Jose. Too good for Bankster. Bankster couldn't score. You're going to have to score better against Coldest Pillow. So we're off into rack number 2 here. And I wonder if Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles is going to go ahead, because it's due to start in about 23 minutes. So I don't know whether there's 1 pocket slim will be looking for a partner. I like what I've seen from Miskin. He's clearly not a numpty at this game. He's thinking in his feet. And that's always a good sign. This couldn't have finished any worse. But the force follow is on to the 3-ball, and the 1 ball and the 5 ball will split apart. It's just a question of whether you can pick the line to get the force follow down to that 3-ball. So Mr. Fox is a player that's capable of threatening this high run. But maybe he gets a bit too flashy making the caroms. Maybe he takes too many risks. Now, I don't know that that's going to count. No, it isn't. So contribution of 18. I never checked to see where he was from. Oh, he's from the UK as well. So the scores are tied. And he's going to get the second prize carom there. Missed it in the way up, hit it in the way back. Now, when you get away with that shot, everything else is a bonus. It's just a question of whether he can really capitalise on that. This looks risky. Yeah. Very risky shot there. That was a sucker scratch if he had hit that. Very dangerous. So a contribution of 24 gives him a slight lead. Mr. Fox says in the chat, sorry for slow play, been on support call last 90 minutes, talking about stuff way beyond my knowledge and expertise. Miracle I can even shoot a ball. And Miskin says, no problem, mate, if you have to quit, I understand. Now there's dropping a hint if ever I've seen one. That's a good shot. A very good shot. Loads of top. Spinning the cue ball into that one. Yeah, Mr. Fox is playing a lot of these shots the way I tend to play them, very loose and prone to self-inflicted damage. But he's going to get the double bank. I'll have a quick drink. Score goes to, or the contribution goes to 20. We've got another delay. Let's just have a quick look at the remaining schedule. We've got the matches that were on the schedule today, the top two. The next match we've got is MC Clarkey and Larry, and that may well be a round two match as well. And that goes ahead on Wednesday evening at 7 PM British Summer Time. I'll be there for that. We have the one lost side match with Tornado Tam and Interchange X, and that's coming up this Sunday at 3 PM in the afternoon, right in the middle of Sunday afternoon. And then the last match on that schedule is the one lost side match between Real Poland Power Stub, as you know him, and VP Monster. And that goes ahead a week on Thursday, I think. And that kicks off at 6 PM British Summer Time as well. So that's the schedule, unless anything else changes. And meanwhile, back at the match, we've got Mr. Fox trying to build up a healthy lead in this second rack after having eventually stolen the first one. Had it handed on a plate to him. for that matter. Nice little around the corner onto the 1. And would you believe it, he's found the gap. So the run ends in 32. The lead is only 26 points. Good opportunity for Miskin to redress the balance here. Table's got ugly very quickly. He's got a bank on the 5. He's got a thin cut in the 3 across table. And the bank doesn't go in. But likewise, the table's not all that inviting for Mr. Fox either. So there's a bit of tidying up being done here. And that will do nicely, because now having got the carom and the little brush in the 1, he can pot that, get it onto its spot. I mean, he could pot the 5 and use the 5 to get to the 1, but there's always a danger when you're sending a cue ball towards a pocket, because anything crazy can happen. I mean, the odds in the cue ball following this in are not that high, but do you want to risk it? Oh, he's having said that, he's just made a foul there. He's swept thin air with his cue stick and fouled and promptly lost whatever points he had. So Miskin back at the table. Larry's arrived online. He's looking for a partner for the 9-ball Scotch doubles. And I wonder whether it will go ahead. Right, let's have a quick look. See if anything's happening there. No, it's not looking good. There's nobody signed up. If I wasn't doing this, me and Slim would be signed up right now, but it just shows you nobody's... I just can never surprise... I can never understand why folk aren't interested in just playing a bit of doubles. It's always a struggle. I mean, that Saturday night 8-ball one, it used to go ahead, the 8-ball World Scotch doubles. Now nobody's interested in it. I mean, it's pretty pathetic when folk just are not keen to participate. Miskin 10 points behind. Again, he's going to have to manufacture a carom here. And he's also going to have to do the same with the pot. He's got the long distance cut on the 3. And if he comes around the back of the 5 or out of there, he'll be lined up for something by way of a carom. But he's going to have to draw this again. Well, 1 ball isn't a problem. And he's lined up for a carom with the 5-3. I just get the feeling Miskin's one of these players, very like myself, where he's well capable of scoring. I mean, he could pull something out of the hat at any time. or he could also fall short at any time. There's that threat about him. And I think right now there's a potential here that this could be a decent run. I would suggest he's not to be taken lightly, this guy, at this game. One ball to the 3. But that's a bit, I don't like that. That's a bit too heavy. I don't know that he had to hit that hard, but he's got away with it. That was dangerous. Now, how's this going to finish? Well, not great, but he's going to play the draw. Oh, he's caught it the wrong side.
Where's the cue ball going?
And it catches a knuckle and stays up. He's walking a thin line here. Run goes to 42. And this is going to be a 5 to the 3 in a second as well. And he's got to play this gentle. I mean, this, you don't need to slam this at all. Just got to take enough of the 5 ball and you'll get there. He's digging in. I don't like it. He doesn't need to. He just has to take a big chunk of the 5. Run goes to 49. Now, is he going to keep these points? Because this is going to hurt if he does something silly here. Well, I haven't been at work for the last 2 weeks, Blind Hog, so you're not upsetting me. And quite frankly, you can have the beach as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm sure pigs get sand up their arse crack just the same as the rest of us. So, I mean, that can't be good for you. I mean, that's going to give you chafing in the butt cheeks there. All piglets can well do without that. And meanwhile, Miskin moves on to 59. He's going to have an easy carom to follow here once he pots the 3. And he's got to keep an eye on the scoreboard because that's now got him to 90. Very impressive run so far in this rack. And it's just coming at the right time, but he's still not got the points in the bag. He can't be taking a risk. That's Blind Hog's idea of a perfect holiday. Sun, sea and mud. Well, he's just got there. And now's the time to duck. Because if he does something crazy here, I mean, I know I could do something crazy here. I could do a draw with bottom left English to send that cue ball up there, but I'm probably going to scratch and watch the balls. Well, everything stays up, and I think he's got a counter there. He's got to the 5. He moves to 93. Well, this is. Well, I'm a nervous wreck, and I'm just watching this because I am frightened he's going to do something daft. And I'm just glad this isn't a game of doubles. Because I'd be having kittens by now. Oh, he's caught the one. And now everything's loose. Now there's a big danger. He moves on to 97. Is anybody getting a bad feeling in their stomach about this visit? No, he's finally screwed the nut. Is he going to get to a rail? Yes, he is. And that's an excellent contribution. Excellent. A run of 69 from Miskin. And now Mr. Fox has to respond. But that's put Miskin in a really strong position. Where's this cue ball going? I think it's going to stay up. Well, I think he finally realised the gravity of the situation he'd put himself in there, and finally came to his senses and just decided to roll a ball to a rail and keep those vitally and hard-earned points that he made there. Excellent run. Well, Mr. Fox is down to his last extension in this rack. Not that it's probably matter a great deal, because he's at the table now, and I think with this visit that he's got, he's having to manufacture a pot to stay at the table. And if this doesn't go right, he could be setting up an easy carom here for Miskin. This one ball might bump into the 3 ball along that short rail if he doesn't get this right. And it's a bit of a cutback as well. And he's decided the bank is the easier shot. Played it well. Takes him to 73. And, well, I think he'd reckon his odds have got to be that he has to get to 90 here. And I have a fairly strong likelihood he will do it, as long as he can keep something under control here. And he's finished good. Bumped to 1 into play. Sitting good for the 3-5. Well, now he's going to have to think, because potting the 5 goes in its spot. He's got to think about the cue ball now. Trying to go over towards the 1 to give him a choice of 2 shots here. That's not bad. At least he can see where he wants to get to. Now, he too is in the same position. He's got to keep an eye on the scoreboard. He's on 85. Yes, he can cut the 5 in. And he's playing the bank again on the 3. And now he's on 88. He's trying to draw onto one of these. And he's potted the ball and blown his points. There's 38 points down the pan. And that's a crazy shot. But I don't know whether he's distracted, because he should have seen that coming, taking that big risk. So there's 38 points that he worked for, all gone. And Miskin almost over the line here to square this match up. Well, there's a 2-way shot here. Come off that right edge of the 1 and play to the 3 and possibly a line down to the 5. That's a 2-way shot. The only danger is you're sending the 1 dangerously close to that corner pocket. But you can get the cue ball to take the line better if you use spin, thereby making sure that you're not cutting the 1 ball into that top left-hand corner pocket as we look. So Mr. Fox back to square 1, stuck on 50. And trying to recover. Well, I don't think Friday night, not Friday night 9-ball. Well, it says here that Slim signed up for 9-ball and a 10-footer, so that tells me that the weekly Scottish doubles is probably cancelled. There you go. Nobody interested. It's pretty shaming that we can't get enough people to just join up and play the damn thing. I just don't understand it at all. And I don't understand the reluctance of certain players who've been around VP4 for a long time. They know who they are and not even been interested in playing Scottish doubles, even if it's just for something a little bit different. I just don't understand their thinking at all. Well, they make their choice. It's up to them. And meanwhile, Miskin trying to draw this into the corner, and he's played it perfect. And he's all square. Very impressive performance in that rack. And we're one apiece. That's pretty much my break shot that he's played there. Well, he'll beat anybody. And like I said before, you know, he really get into that run. I said that there's a threat about him that he could pull out a score at any time, and that's really the impression that I get about him. You know, that if you take him too lightly, it can turn on its heels here. But I think, likewise with Mr. Fox, he's got enough game that he could pull out a high run. And you really want to be doing something like that consistently, because that's the difference with Cobra. Cobra's a lot more consistent that way, that his contributions are more substantial than anybody else he's played so far. And that's simply how he's winning. If you can stay with Cobra and get to those caroms, then you know it's a 50-50 chance that you can get there and give him a match in a rack. But if you're plodding along with your 15 and 20 contributions, that's never going to be good enough. And of course, for any latecomers, this match is not Josemacuen against Bankster. That match has already happened, and Jose had a comfortable 3-0 win. This is the match that started an hour later, and we're into rack number 3. So this match is an hour and 5 minutes old. So it's been going along at the sort of average pace for a rack of cowboy or alternate cowboy in a 10-footer, roughly 30-31 minutes per rack. Mr. Fox didn't really have much on there. He had nothing much at all other than the bank. I mean, he could have went for a loose sort of 2-3 railer there to try and get started. Now, this is where Miskin could take control of this rack. One good contribution here. He's already got a lead. And Mr. Fox has disconnected and very quickly came back. Oh, hang on a minute. What the hell's happened there? Did he say something in the chat there? Because I've missed it. But because according to that, Mr. Fox has quit. Well, I never got a chance to read that, whatever it said. But Mr. Fox has very quickly left the building. And it's a win for Miskin. So that's it all over. All we need to do now is just check the bracket. And we can see that Miskin has gone through to round 3. And he will play the winner of the match between Larry and MC Clarkey. Now, any of those two guys lurking around and having a quick shufty and watching how Miskin is playing, I think you're in for a bit of a match against this guy. Because you could certainly, your survival in the winner's side could be under threat. Whoever wins that tie between those two, this Miskin guy is by far not an umpty. He has got his head screwed on, and I like the way that he plays. Well, it is a bit risky. It certainly wasn't that run that he got, but you've got to take risks now and again. So he's somebody to keep your eye on. So that is how the winner's side is looking. We've got Cobra through to round 4, and Cobra, of course, has got quite a wait. He's got right up until August the 12th, because, of course, these guys have got to play, and then the winner of that match has to play Miskin to decide who's going to see Cobra. So Cobra's got plenty of time to knock in some practice racks. And then further down, we have Jose, who earlier took out Bankster. He's now lined up to play Cold as Pillow. And then further down, we have LS3 already through to round 4 after her 3-1 win against Chiku. And she will then play the winner of that Jose Cold as Pillow match. So that is it, folks. It's finished a bit earlier than I thought it was going to. Clearly, Mr. Fox was distracted by whatever the hell it was he was doing. So thanks for your company. Once again, well done to Jose. Well done to Miskin. And I look forward to watching some of that stuff later on in the tournament. So till then, back to work tomorrow. I will bid you good evening and take care. And we'll see you all again very soon. Good night.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.